Hello, everyone, and welcome to Stand Against Racism from YWCA Greater Green Bay. We're so glad to have you join us today in our mission to eliminate racism, empower women, and promote peace, justice, freedom, and dignity for all. I want to give a huge shout out to Humana for being our sponsor for this series and for really making Stand Against Racism possible. Thank you, Humana, for continuing to stand with us in this mission and provide the funding necessary to make this work possible. Thank you. Today we are joined by Sarah Thiesfeld, who's from Family Services Northeast Wisconsin. She's going to share with us a little bit about a program called Windows to Work, which helps to work with incarcerated people on successfully transitioning out of incarceration. So it's part of our series around law enforcement and incarceration and the kinds of programs and services that are available here locally to help in that. So without further ado, we'll pop over into the webinar. Hi, Sarah. Thanks so much for joining us today. Can you tell us a little bit about who you are?
Sure. My name is Sarah Thiesfeld. I work for Family Services of Northeast Wisconsin, the Windows to Work program. I've been involved in Windows to Work since 2007. I was a case manager with the program until 2016. I became supervisor for the program somewhere around 2013. So right now I'm solely the supervisor, and then I work in a different program the rest of the time of my week. So I enjoy this work, and it's been really rewarding all these years.
Super cool. Can you tell us a little bit, what is Windows to Work?
Sure. Well, Windows to Work is a voluntary program designed to assist incarcerated men and women with making a successful transition back to the community. So basically, our case managers are in the prisons, working with individuals in a group, teaching them cognitive thinking skills, life skills, employment skills, getting them ready for their release. And then once they're released back into the community, we're helping them find a stable place to live, helping find a stable job, school, whatever kind of other services they may need along the way. We're helping them build that back up, that stability back up, so they don't go back.
Cool. And it's a really specific process to get into the program, right? Who is eligible? How does this happen?
Right. So as I mentioned, the program starts while you're incarcerated. And Windows to Work actually is a statewide program in Wisconsin right now. So it is at, I believe, every medium security prison. We're starting to expand into maximum security prisons, and there's a couple of jail projects scattered throughout the state. So basically, there is an agency like Family Services at each of these prisons. We identify, along with the help of the social workers that work at the institution, we identify who's getting released in the next year, who has a work need, and that's determined based off of assessments that the Department of Corrections does. And then also there's other assessments that the Department of Corrections does through their Compass risk assessment. So we are taking people that are high or medium risk to reoffend. So we identify the potential people, we hold an orientation meeting, see who is interested, and then gather a group together. Group can be, on average around 10 individuals. And we kind of go from there. And I guess the other piece of that is our specific Windows to Work works with people releasing to Northeast Wisconsin. So any of the counties in the surrounding area. We can take people that are releasing throughout the state, and then there's a transfer process. So if we get someone who's getting released to Dane County, let's say, then we contact the case managers that work in Dane County to work the transfer process. And so it goes from there.
Cool. So you mentioned that you work with people who have a medium to high risk of reoffending.
Mhm.
What are some of those really key factors in kind of what makes a difference between somebody who is going to or not going to once they're released?
Well, I don't know exactly the questions that are asked in the Department of Corrections assessment. I know it's an extensive question thing, but I think it boils down to, just the thought processes in their head. Do they revert immediately back to that criminal thinking? Or are they problem solving in a more mature or appropriate way? What kind of, some of it might have to do with the crimes that they've committed, the history that they have. Maybe it has to do with what kind of resources they already have out in the community. So I don't know, it all kind of, a lot of different factors kind of go into that. But there's been lots of studies that show it's not good to mix the high and medium risk people with the low risk people. Because the low risk people, they already know what they need to do and they go out and get it done more than likely. Whereas the high and medium risk people need more assistance.
And what kinds of things after release really help people to stay connected to the community and be successful in that?
Sure. Well, the original concept of Windows to Work is to breach that gap between being in an institution and in the community. There's lots of like the Department of Corrections is, you're not supposed to, the workers that are in prison aren't supposed to keep in contact, once you're released. So then there's that gap of like, I made this connection with this person in the institution, but now I can never talk to them again. And I have to start all over in the community. So our program is designed to give you a person that it's the same person that you're working through all the way through, who knows you, who knows your needs, and can assist you through all these situations that you come across. So that's, the big key of this program. Other things that are really helpful are, walking them through how to apply to a job, bringing them to the job center. Some of these people have been in for years and don't know how to use computers anymore, or, don't know where these services are located. So bringing them there, we have the ability to offer basic needs. So if you need a bus pass for transportation, we can get that going. How to talk to a landlord, how to convince them to rent to you, that kind of thing. Or financial literacy, how to manage your money and pay your bills on time, and things like that.
I think that people really underestimate how much like effort goes into starting over again, right?
Oh,
Like
for
maintaining an apartment after you have it, like it's the easy part, right? But like
yeah.
totally starting from scratch with,
Mm-hmm.
I need somewhere to live, I need a job, I need to, like figure out how to like take care of my bank account, I need clothes to go to work in now that I have a job
Right.
suddenly,
Yeah.
is a really like, it's a huge like chunk of stuff that needs to get taken
Right.
care of.
And it seems so basic, but to someone who maybe has never done that, um, they have no idea how to do it. So,
Yeah.
we walk them through that process.
Can you tell us a little bit about the success that the program has had?
Sure. So let's see. So since, well, I guess I could say, our family services Windows to Work is considered the Bay Area. Just to give you an idea of how many clients we served last year, we had 50 new enrollments, and this is during COVID too. So there was a huge chunk of time where we weren't allowed into the institutions. But despite that, we had 50 new enrollments. We had 45 people that we rolled over from the previous program year. And then we enrolled 28 people that we transferred out to different areas of Windows to Work. So then our average wage of individuals who are in our area was about $15.33. That was an average wage for our participants. For the overall Windows to Work program, it was about just under $15 was the average wage. They compare statistics between Windows to Work and then a control group. So the control group is individuals who are being released from prison who are not involved in Windows to Work. So Windows to Work participants were more successful in obtaining employment than the control group. So when you have that extra assistance, you're more likely to get employment. And then the reincarceration rates, which is, the main idea of the program, was rates for individuals who were successfully completed the program were lower than the rates for the control group. So overall, if you're involved in this program, you're less likely to be reincarcerated.
That's super cool. I know that one of the big factors in recidivism rates, so that reincarceration piece, is having a job, and that people who have a job post-incarceration are much more likely to stay out and keep doing their job and living their life and sort of successfully transitioning back into life on the outside. So it's great to hear that there are programs available in our community that are helping people to do that, and not just keep going back. And really great in terms of people being successful on the outside. I think everyone would agree that being out of prison is better than being in prison.
Yes.
Maybe not everyone, but most of us. And also just really great in so many other ways to have fewer people incarcerated in our state.
Yes. The institutions are overcrowded for the most part. We need more workers in the community. So, even it out a little bit.
Yeah. So if we've got anybody who's watching this that is in charge of hiring people, I will give a plug to giving somebody a chance who is newly out of incarceration, giving them a chance at a job. It's really great for all of us.
Yeah, I think a lot of time employers, some employers, they see that yes to that question of criminal record and they move on to the next person. But what you don't realize maybe is this person is just needing someone to give them a chance, and they could be your best worker that you ever had, but you passed them up. So that's what I hope for employers to maybe give them a chance and see what opportunities could come about from it.
So I do want to give a shout out to the Wisconsin Department of Corrections and the Bay Area Workforce Development Board who fund the program.
Yes.
Just to make sure credit is given where credit is due. Anything else you want to share with everybody today?
No, I don't think so. I think that about covers it.
Okay, covers it. If people have more questions, is there a place that they can find more information?
Sure. We, Family Services of Northeast Wisconsin, we have information on our website, so you can definitely start there.
Awesome. Well, Sarah, thank you so much for joining me today and helping our audience to learn a little bit more about a program that's available right here locally, that's doing some really great stuff, helping people move out of incarceration and out into the rest of the world, and to successfully stay on the outside. So thank you very much for joining us, and thank you so much for all the work that you do.
Yeah, thank you. You're welcome.
So again, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you, Sarah and Family Services, for being with us today to educate us and spread the word about this really important work that you're doing with Windows to Work. And thank you so much for doing this work out in our community and providing this service. If you have questions, comments, concerns, any of the above, any kinds of reactions, we really want to know what you are thinking. And we hope that you will join us over in our private group on Facebook to have some conversation and some dialogue with us. So if you go to our Facebook page, YWCA Greater Green Bay, and then up at the top there's a kind of a menu, and you can select groups from there and then join the Stand Against Racism group, and in there we'll be having discussion and conversation. So please join us there and let us know. Are there other programs that you'd like to see here in our community? Are there other services offered? Are there other pieces that we could or should be doing around incarceration and criminal justice? So join us over there. Again, thank you all for joining us today in our mission of eliminating racism and empowering women, promoting peace, justice, freedom, and dignity for all. Have a fantastic rest of your day.